So I read in all the input from the first line, which is the length of the road, the length of the segment that we're going to repair, and the number of businesses. And I'm representing the total road as a Boolean array of size t plus 1. And at any given index, if it is true, that means there is a business at that location. And if it's false, there's not a business at that location. So then we're just going to fill out this array by looping through the next line of input. Oops. Okay. And then it's an integer, so we're going to parse this. And then we're going to fill up the array with true every time there is a business at that location. So I'll just set this to true. And then for how we're going to determine where we can put the segment to minimize the impact on businesses, we can just start from the beginning and then move the segment to be repaired to the right, or like along the road each time. If you're visualizing it as a horizontal road, you just move from left to right. So we start off by tracking how many businesses will be impacted by each place that we're repairing. So I'm just going to initialize this at 0. And then at the very beginning, the segment is aligned with like the very first part of the road, so like the very left side, if you can imagine that. So if the business we're at is less than the length of the segment to be repaired, I'm going to increment count by 1. So then by the time we are finished with this loop, count tells us how many businesses would be impacted if we repair the first repair units of the road, where repair is the length to be repaired. And then I'm going to set answer to be count, and then every time we find a new segment that impacts a fewer number of businesses than count, we can just update answer. Or sorry, fewer than answer, then we'll update answer. So we just kind of take an ongoing minimum of that. So then we just start going through the rest of the road. We're going to stop when we have hit the end of what we can repair. So that would be length minus repair, and then plus 1. And then as we move along, if the business that we're moving away from, if there was a business there, we're going to decrease count, because the section that we're repairing no longer includes that business. And then similarly for the other end of our moving segment, if the stretch of land that we're moving towards does have a business there, and we're going to increment count by 1, because now we're adding that business to the number that we have impacted. And then answer will now be whatever is the minimum of our count and our answer. So this way we take an ongoing minimum, kind of. And then we should just be able to print the answer here. Oops. And then by the end, this will tell us how many businesses will be least impacted.